Good afternoon. What I want to do today is I want to take just a minute to, or a few minutes actually, it's to address the question of what is it that we do here at Anchor Wealth. And this may take 5 to 10 minutes to get this question answered, but I want to use a non-financial example that I'll tie back in just a little bit to what it is that we do here to help make sure that you're getting put in the right or the best position that you could possibly be. And we want to call that financially fit. So I have Graves' disease. That's an issue of the thyroid that I was diagnosed with about 13 years ago. And it goes into remission, it comes out of remission, goes into remission, comes out of remission. So we're trying to figure out what is it that continues to cause this to come out of remission. And so we're seeing a local functional doctor here that's doing blood work, taking a deep dive to see what is going on at a cellular level, a deeper level, other than what's just on the surface, that may be causing these relapses. And so as we're going through that process, I have started working out on not just watching what we're eating, not just watching what we're putting into our body, but also becoming physically stronger through working out. And I work out with a group called F3 here in Spring Hills. It stands for Fitness, Fellowship, and Faith. And one of the things, like this morning, we work out in parks around the town. And today it was not super cold, but it was a cold morning. It was about 29, 28 degrees. Right now you can see that there's snow outside. And I was questioning, why am I out here today? And the reason I'm out there is because I am trying to take as much control of my health as possible. And part of that, while eating healthy is important, looking at what's going on at the cellular level is absolutely important, taking the proper nutritional supplements is absolutely important, physical activity and pushing myself to become stronger mentally and physically as a body, be at a proper weight, is also critical to having a healthy lifestyle. And so what do I talk about physical fitness? Well, when I talk about financial fitness, it ties in a lot of ways very closely with what a person tries to do when they're trying to get healthy and they're trying to get physically fit. And so from a financial standpoint, we have people that will sometimes come in, they're just looking for a different advisor. No big deal. And process is very, very smooth. Sometimes people come in, they have pain points that they're looking to have addressed. And so we will look to address those. And then there's people that come in that they are completely fine. They have those pain points. They think they know what they want. But we use the tools that we have. We use our laboratory results, for lack of a better term, to compare it with the blood work that we do for determining how we're doing health-wise internally. And it helps identify areas that need to be at the very least discussed. So you may be coming in with your certain set of concerns that you want to have addressed, but if what you are doing now is not adequate and not sufficient to what you need, when would you want to know the answer to that question? And I think most people would say that they would want to know that right now. And so by using these tools to gather data, to ask questions, they help us identify problems that might be an issue at some point in the future, maybe even right now, and we have discussions about that. There are things that we can't deal with. So when you look at the health side of things, if you're going to a doctor, there's generalists and then there's specialists. So the doctor that we're working with, he's more of a generalist. He can do a lot, but he can't deal with everything. And so he has a network of partners that he might refer us out to if we need to see a specialist and if we need to get a different level of help that we're not equipped to provide. He can talk about it from a high level, he understands it, but to take a deep dive, that's not his specialty. And so there's things that we are very, very good at, and we act as a generalist. We can help with a lot of the insurance planning, the investments, pointing a person in the right direction for estate planning. But there are times that issues come up that are identified that are not necessarily my specialty. I understand it from a really high level. I can talk about it because I have a pretty good understanding of what that is. But to have that implemented correctly, or to get you to see if that's going to be the right solution for you, we will refer you, we will work with some of our partners, bring them into the planning process, and have a discussion with you. Say, this is what we've identified as an issue. These are the 1, 2, or 3, or 4 ways that we can look to address this. Is this a concern for you? And if it's not, then we pass. But if it is a concern, and if it is something that you want to address so that it doesn't become an issue in the future, either for you or your spouse, or maybe the legacy planning that you're trying to do and that you're trying to leave behind, then we want to have discussions around those things so that we can make sure that we are looking at it from as many angles as possible, so that we can come around you. We're not looking to put you in a bubble by any stretch of the imagination, but what we are looking to do is to identify what are the health risks to your financial plan. One of the things that we do, a friend of mine, Michael Wallen, we are doing a podcast called The Art of Wealth Unbroken. And unbroken wealth can really manifest in a lot of different ways, and it's different for every single person. For somebody that is making $100,000 a year, or comes to us with $300,000 to $500,000 that they're looking to invest and make it through retirement with, that's a very different plan for unbroken wealth than the person that comes to us and they may have tens of millions of dollars that could be creating massive tax problems when they pass away. And in dealing with that, the question is, would you want the government to take 50% of everything that you have worked for and strive to build your entire life, and that just be in a matter of seconds of you living to passing away, that is just wiped out? So our tools don't help us just identify those types of basic, simple things, but they help us take a deep dive and make sure that, take a look under the hood of what is going on inside your life from all aspects financially. And then we want to come back and address those issues and concerns with you in discussion. Through that conversation, again, come back and say, is this a concern for you, or is it a not? If it's not a concern, okay, let's move past it and we're going to go on. But if it is a concern, then we're going to line up those specialists that we can have conversations with together. I'm not going to send you out there by yourself. This will be something that we do together, and talk through that on the process, on how it works, on how to implement it, the benefits to it, the cons to it. And if it works, great. If not, there's going to be 2 or 3 or 4 ways usually that you can address those types of problems. But all of that to say, another issue that we are dealing with actually in our family right now is my daughter. And she's 20 years old. She started to have a few health issues that, had we listened to my internal doctor and functional doctor here probably 12 months ago and done blood work on her, we could have identified early some of those underlying causes that are now creating these outward issues that we're also now having to deal with. So instead of dealing with one problem, we're dealing with multiple problems on multiple fronts. What we want to do is come in and work with you before a problem manifests. We want to identify those risks, deal with them on the front end, put those barriers of protection up, those hedges, against the risk wherever we can, so that when those storms of life do come, when some of those internal things might come up that start to manifest physically, that we have already positioned ourselves and are prepared to deal with that because they're already in place. It's done. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, like, shoot me an email, let me know. But I'd love to get your feedback and would love to hear from you, even if it's just for a conversation. I know that what we do is not for everybody, but if you're interested in having a conversation just to see how we might be able to work together and what that might look like, let's set up a time to talk. My calendar link is just below, and I look forward to hearing from you.